Welcome back to the ticket setup series. In this session, we're going to dive into part two of creating a custom property. And in this session, we're actually going to use the custom property we created in part one. So if you missed that, I would recommend jumping back to part one, see how to create the custom property, and now we'll go through a couple of use cases on how you would use it. Okay, so in the previous part one series, we created a location property. So I'm sitting in web.ticket.ai. I'm on the admin settings area. I'm in custom properties, and you'll see that location here. Now I can add as many as I like. I'm just going to focus on location for the purposes of this. Now the first place that you'll use this is as an agent. This will now exist across all of your tickets. So I'll go ahead and select a current ticket, doesn't matter which one. And at the bottom here, I'm going to see location. So that is now available for me. And what I want to highlight here is that this is a ticket that did not have anything set for it in location. So there's nothing going to be set for. So we're not setting anything for previous tickets. It's something you have to select there. And I'll just go ahead and choose one so you can see that effect. Now that will surface itself in lots of different places. So the first place is on the preview area. You're going to see the location. Here's Paris. You're going to see that the activity trail, the auto trail get updated here. The next place as an agent you'll probably use this is in the agent portal. This is where you can view ticket data. And you probably want to add a custom property to some of these views. So to do that, you'll have to create a new view or edit an existing view. But if you do that, I'll just do a quick example. I won't choose any filters here, but what I want to highlight here is at the bottom here is the location option. So if I don't choose any columns, we're just going to add all the columns to a particular view. And if I save that, that will now be an option here in location. The other place you'll use this now is creating a new ticket. So you'll see here that at the bottom I have location here. Now one thing I'll highlight is that I chose San Diego to be default, which means that this is going to be the default option every single time this is created. If I didn't choose default, it would be blank, and the end user, although not required, would have to choose the location. If I made it required, they would have to choose the location in either respect. Just want to highlight that's a nuance, and depending on your business, you may change how that behaves there. So now this is agents using the property. You may also want to surface that property to end users and when they submit tickets. Now, end users can submit tickets in Ticket Purchase Agent, they can submit tickets in the web portal, and that property can be used there as well. So if I jump over to Adele's experience, Adele's my end user here. I want to highlight that when she submits a ticket right now, there is no location option. But if I want to add that location option here, so as you can tell me where the ticket's originating from, I can do that. And I can do that in any form. So to do that, I'm going to move back over to the agent portal, and I'm going to jump over to the admin settings. And I'm going to drive over to the form area. So any form can have that custom property. I'm going to, for the purpose of this example, use the new ticket form here for the end user, excuse me. So this is the default form, the system form for the end user to create a ticket. And if I scroll down here, what I'll see here is there's now a custom property section, and I can drag that property onto the ticket. So maybe after they choose the team, maybe actually, I would say on this one after the request, I would want them to select a location. So when I highlight that as well, I get different options here. In this example, maybe I do want it required, so they have to choose a location. You can put whatever you want for the error message there, and I'll go ahead and save this. Now once I save that, that's now available to the end user on that new ticket form. So if I come back to Adele's experience and I were to type new ticket, that would then have the location option there. So Very easy to use that custom property across the agent, new ticket experience, viewing data. You can bring that element into any end user experience. Now that I'm looking at that, I don't know if I particularly like where location is on that form, but you can always easily change that by moving it up and down. Now, last highlight of where you can use this custom property is in all the other parts of the, I'll say, administration of the product. So just to quickly highlight that, let's say that I want to use that property in an automation as an example. This is probably the largest place you'll use it. That property is available everywhere. So in my property section, sorry, in my if section, if I have the entity name of Tikit selected, which is the default, I will now see location as an option, and I'll see all my values that I have there. If I do a notification, or if I do an update ticket, that will also be there. If I do a notification, the variables for that property will also be there. So that is also available. It's also available in SLAs as a different example. So that custom property propagates everywhere. Some places are going to be administrative. Some places are going to be where agents use it, end users use it, but it is available everywhere. Okay, this is where we're going to end part 2 of the custom property session. Really hope you enjoy the session. And if you do have any questions, please email help@cyerson.com.